evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Rushda Dixon Vixen, and tonight I am going to show you now that I already showed you my sci-fi action DVDs, my comedy DVDs, and my drama DVD collection. Now I'm going to show you my horror thriller collection, and I am a huge fan of the excitement and excitement here. So it's not much, so it'll be pretty quick, like the comedy that was the longest, and dramas were longest last night. Okay, here we go. The first DVD I have in my horror thriller collection is the film Air, and it's created by Robert Kirkman, who did The Walking Dead, and it stars Norman Reedus and Diamond Hounsou. It's suspenseful and absolutely breathtaking. It's about in the near future, breathable air is non-existent. Virtually all of humanity has disappeared, and those chosen to reestablish society reside in a controlled state of suspended animation. Two engineers tasked with guarding the last hope for mankind struggle to preserve their own sanity and lives while administering to the vital task at hand. And this is it's a really good movie, and yeah, and if you love Robert Kirkman, you're gonna love this film Air. Next up is one of my favorite actors, Christian Bale, and it's the uncut version. It's the Killer Collector's Edition. It's called American Psycho, and it's a movie you shouldn't miss. Mesmerizing and dazzling, and it's based on the, I hear it's based on a book by it's based on the novel by Bret Easton Ellis. So it's about a Wall Street yuppie obsessed with success, status, and style with a stunning fiance. He's also a psychotic killer who rapes, murders, and dismembers both strangers and acquaintances without provocation or purpose. Based on the controversial novel by Bret Easton Ellis, the film offers a sharp satire to the dark side of yuppie culture in the 1980s while setting forth a vision that is both terrifying and chilling. This Christian Bale, like, the music was great, and Christian Bale was awesome in this film. So, check it out. Another one that I have, it's one of my favorite suspenseful films of all time. It's the Ultimate Edition, and it's the unrated director's cut. It starred Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone, and the film is Basic Instinct. And it's about a tough but vulnerable detective and a cold, calculating, and beautiful novelist with an insatiable sexual appetite. She becomes a prime suspect when her boyfriend is brutally murdered, a crime she had described in her latest novel. Obsessed with tracking the case, Nick descends into San Francisco's forbidden underground where suspicions mount, bodies fall, and he finds within himself an instinct more basic than survival. And it's also got some special features there, and they have trailers, storyboard comparison, cleaning up Basic Instinct. And so, I've seen this movie so many times. The first time I saw it, I thought it was amazing. So, this is a good film to have. Another one, I got this at a Salvation Army one day when I was out for a walk. It's a special edition, and it's the movie that broke Sissy Spacek into stardom, and the film is another Stephen King novel. It's called Carrie, and it's got some special features, and it's based on the best-selling Stephen King novel Carrie. Catches the mind, shakes it, and refuses to let it go. This ultimate revenge fantasy is absolutely spellbinding, outrageously witty, and one of the all-time great horror classics. At the center of the terror is Carrie, a tortured high school misfit with no confidence, no friends, and no idea about the extent of her secret powers of telekinesis. But when her psychotic mother and sadistic classmates finally go too far, the once shy teen becomes an unrestrained vengeance-seeking powerhouse who, with the help of her special gift, causes all hell to break loose in a famed cinematic frenzy of blood, fire, and brimstone. So, like, when I was young, I thought that movie really scared me to death. It really scared me. I refused to watch it, and then when I got a little older, then I realized, it wasn't that bad after all, like, and it also has Carrie the musical featurette, which is, I never knew Carrie had a musical, so this was a classic. It came out in 1976. This is another movie that I got. This is a movie that I have. It stars Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd, and the movie is called Double Jeopardy. It's Murder Isn't Always a Crime. It's stylish, sexy, suspenseful, an exhilarating, riveting cat and mouse action thriller. And it's rip-roaring entertainment. Okay, the chase is on, and Ashley Judd shines in this untoppable box office smash that co-stars Tommy Lee Jones in his best performance since The Fugitive. It's about a housewife who discovers that the husband she's convicted of murdering staged his own death and framed her for the crime. Released on parole, she skips town to find him, and that puts a parole officer on her trail. Packed with more crowd-pleasing excitement than several movies put together, Double Jeopardy delivers lots of action and spine-tingling suspense from start to finish. So it came out in 1999, and so far, and this is a good one. The next one, I watched it at my mother's house when I was 17, and she had a copy of the film, and this is a movie that scared a lot of men, and it's a special collector's edition. And the film came out in 1987, and it's called Fatal Attraction. I loved this movie. It's got a lot of special features. It has an alternate ending. And it says, stylish and sexy, Fatal Attraction took audiences to terrifying new heights with its thrilling story of a casual encounter gone terribly awry. This box office smash was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. And this film is also directed by Adrian Lyne. It's about a New York attorney who has a tryst with a seductive colleague while his wife is away. Dan later shrugs off the affair as a mistake and considers it over, but Alex won't be ignored. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Even if it means destroying Dan's family to keep him. Yeah, like, this is a classic. It's awesome. It's an awesome movie, and this is one this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Next up is a cult hit that came out in 1987, and it was directed by David Cronenberg, who directed Dead Ringers and Extinct, all that. And it's a remake of a film that came out in the 50s, and the film is The Fly. And The Fly is a true Cronenberg masterpiece. Be afraid. Be very afraid. And it's got special features, like it's got deleted scenes, and it has a never-before-seen alternate ending. It's got a lot of stuff that you should check out. It stars Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. It says, a chilling contemporary remake of an all-time horror classic has now been transformed into the ultimate collector's edition DVD. Reborn with hours of in-depth, never-before-seen extras, this all-new 2-disc set takes terror to a whole new level. Jeff Goldblum stars as an overly ambitious scientist while accidentally merges with a housefly while conducting a bizarre teleporting experiment. Now his journalist girlfriend suddenly finds herself caring for a hideous creature whose insect half gradually begins to take over. So if you love the original The Fly, if you're a fan of David Cronenberg, you should check this out. This I also got another cult classic hit. I saw this film back in 1986. It came out in '85, and it was a great film. I loved it, and it was and it starred Chris Sarandon and Roddy McDowall, and the film is called Fright Night. One of that is it is such a classic. The music was great, the story was great, and it's an outstanding horror film. And it was written and directed by Tom Holland, and it says meet Jerry Dandridge. He's sweet, sexy, and he likes to sleep in late. You might think he's the perfect neighbor, but before inviting Jerry in for a nightcap, there's just one thing you should know. Jerry prefers his drinks warm, red, and straight from the jugular. It's Fright Night, a horrific howl starring Chris Sarandon as the seductive vampire and William Ragsdale as the frantic teenager struggling to keep Jerry's deadly fangs out of his neck. Only 17-year-old only the 17-year-old knows Jerry's blood-curdling secret. When he can't get anybody to believe him, he turns to a TV horror host who used to be the great vampire killer of the movies. Can these mortals save him and his girl sweetheart from the wrathful bloodsucker's toothy embrace? If you love being scared, Fright Night will give you the nightmare of your life. This was also remade in 2011. I saw the remake with Colin Farrell, and it wasn't that good. Nothing can top the original Fright Night. Next up is it was based on the novel, a book that I've read, and it was a novel by Paula Hawkins. I have read that book, and it was really, really good. And it's based on the thriller that shocked the world. And it's the darkest, sexiest, most daring thriller of the year. And it stars Emily Blunt, and the film is The Girl on the Train. And it's also got some deleted and extended scenes and that. It says The Girl on the Train is based on Paula Hawkins' best-selling thriller that shocked the world. Devastated by a recent divorce, a woman devastated by a recent divorce spends her daily commute fantasizing about the seemingly perfect couple who live in a house that her train passes by every day. Everything changes when she sees something shocking happen there and becomes entangled in the mystery that unfolds. Yeah, and also stars Luke Evans, Justin Theroux, It stars Emily Blunt, Rebecca Ferg, Allison Janney, Lisa Kudrow, Laura Prepon. Laura Prepon is also into this. So eventually, if you love the book, you'll love the movie. Next one is a first pairing of two great actors, Oscar winners, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They are awesome. They are awesome actors, and it's a film directed by Michael Mann, and it also stars Val Kilmer, and it's a Los Angeles crime saga, and the film is called Heat, and it is nonstop action. It's a good movie, and so this is the first of these two getting together, and they did not get together till like 15-20 years later when they did Righteous Kill. And I thought Righteous Kill was not that good, but I think Heat is much better with the two great actors plus Val Kilmer. This is the best they ever did. Next up came out in 1975, and it's a film that makes you afraid to go into the water. This is the full screen 30th anniversary edition, and I'll give you hum a few bars from it. Da dum, ba dum, ba da 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 da. That's right, the film is Jaws. And when I was a little girl, I used to be afraid of the movie of sharks, but then when I saw the movie for the first time, I wasn't afraid at all, and so I decided to get the film. And this is it came with this is the 30th anniversary edition, the full screen, and has a limited edition 60-page commemorative photo journal, which I have here, which is awesome. And it also has some special features. They had deleted scenes and outtakes, and the making of Jaws. It's rated Steven Spielberg's terrifying blockbuster is one of the most brilliant, enduring action suspense movies of all time. Relive the hunt for the Great White in this special 30th anniversary edition, packed with exclusive bonus features and an all-new commemorative photo journal. Amity's waters will never be the same again. Rediscover the timeless classic that continues to make generations afraid of the ocean. So, Peter Benchley and Carl Gottlieb wrote this. It's based on the novel by Peter Benchley. And so this is a classic. Nothing can top the original Jaws. But the sequels, I wish they would have just left them alone. So this movie, I'm glad I made this purchase. I got this at Cheapy's at a great deal. I think I got this for $10. Great deal. Next up is a movie where everything is possible when you open your mind. And it stars Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro. And the film is called Limitless. And it has bonus features, an alternate ending, deleted scenes. It's full tilt and adrenaline rush. Cooper dominates from start to finish. It's about an out-of-work writer whose rejection by his girlfriend confirms his belief that he has no future. But that all vanishes the day an old friend introduces him to a drug that makes him laser focused and more confident than any man alive. As the former nobody rises to the top of the financial world, he draws the attention of a business mogul who sees this enhanced version of him as the tool to make billions. With a dwindling stash and hitmen who want to eliminate him to get the drug, he must stay wired long enough to elude capture and avoid becoming just another victim who thought he'd found invincibility in a bottle. So I thought this is a really good film. Bradley Cooper, he was so gorgeous in that. And so this is, and it also was also a TV series, but that didn't last at all. So check out this movie. Next is a classic. Came in 1987, 86, and it starred directed by Joel Schumacher. This is the 2-disc special edition. I'll give you the title. Sleep all night, day, party all night. It's fun to be a vampire. That's right. I'm talking about The Lost Boys. This is an awesome movie. I love this film, and the movie, it was like, I love the film. It's had Jason Patric, Jamie Gertz, Corey Haim, God rest his soul, Corey Feldman, Diane Wiest. Yep. And it's over 2 hours of exciting extras. It has this too has the bonus material. And also Corey Haim and the Frog Brothers. This is a movie. This is everybody's must get this movie. It's from 1987, and I just loved it. Now I've seen it one time when I was on a trip to Florida with a group of church friends. So this is a good movie. The Lost Boys is a must-have because I just love 80s movies. Next up is I have the special edition, and I'll give you the title of it. A powerful husband, an unfaithful wife, a jealous lover. All of them have a motive. Each of them has a plan. It stars Michael Douglas and Gwyneth Paltrow together, and the film is called A Perfect Murder, and it's based on the movie Dial M for Murder from Alfred Hitchcock, and it's about a married couple whose wife ends up having an affair with an artist or something like that, and then the husband finds out, and then he takes drastic action. So I don't want to give out any major details, but check out A Perfect Murder. It's a really good thriller. Next up is another film directed by it was produced by Steven Spielberg, and it's directed by the late Tobe Hooper. God rest his soul. This was the first horror movie that I ever sat through, and it came out at an old friend's house. I saw it back in '83, the year after it came out, and the film is Poltergeist, and so I saw the whole thing. I thought, oh my god, that is awesome. So it's like more like science fiction horror type, and it's all about a girl who the family who lives in this house, and it gets people like, and it gets like these strange like these strange like like these ghosts, like it's like so they hired this like this so yeah, like the parapsychologists, they yeah who so they had, like, it's very complicated what to say, so paranormal activity. So eventually, this is a classic. This is a must-have. 1982. Yeah, and little Heather O'Rourke, God rest her soul, she passed away at the only age of 12, which was really, really sad. So this is a movie you must have in your collection. Poltergeist. Next up is a trilogy that I have, and it's from the late great Wes Craven, God rest his soul, and the trilogy is Scream. I saw all three at the theaters. I saw Scream 1 in Toronto at the theater, then I saw Scream 2 the day it came out, and then I saw Scream 3 again in Toronto once again. So eventually, okay, and I'll tell you about it. Scream is set in Santa Rosa, California, a small, quiet town that comes under siege by a murderer who takes all his cues from the movies. The young people he targets can only survive if they have the presence of mind to follow movie rules. Don't answer the door. Don't hide in the closet. Don't just stand there. Don't go back in the house. Don't trip. Don't answer the phone. Don't ask who's there. Don't ask who's there. Don't have sex. Don't drink or do drugs. And never, ever, under any circumstances, scream. In Scream 2, here's the incredible follow-up to the smash hit phenomenal Scream. Away at college, Sidney Prescott thought she'd finally put the shocking murders that shattered her life behind her, until a copycat killer begins acting out a real-life sequel. Now, as history eerily repeats itself, ambitious reporter Gail Weathers, Deputy Dewey, and other Scream survivors find themselves trapped in a terrifying and clever plotline where no one is safe or beyond suspicion. And in the third Scream, while Sidney Prescott lives in safely guarded seclusion, bodies begin dropping around the Hollywood set of Stab 3, the latest movie sequel based on the gruesome Greensboro killings. And when the escalating terror finally brings her out of hiding, Sidney and the other Greensboro survivors are once again drawn into an insidious game of horror movie mayhem. But just when they thought they knew how to play by the rules, they discover that all the rules have been broken. And it offers an unmatched mix of thrills, laughter, and suspense that bring the spine-tingling saga to an unforgettable conclusion. Yeah, I thought that then they did a Scream 4, and I thought Scream 4 was terrible. But Scream 5, like, and now I heard there's a Scream 5 coming, but it will never, like, I think 3 of the Screams is enough. So this is a classic. I watch this every Halloween, and it is, I think it's a great movie. It was of all time. So came out in '96. So if you love horror movies, scary movies, this is a movie. This is a trilogy to get. Next up is another. It's a movie that it was directed by Barbara Schroeder. And it's about, I'll give you the punchline. Alice's new roommate is about to borrow a few things. Her clothes, her boyfriend, her life. And it stars Bridget Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh. And the film is called Single White Female. And it says single white female seeks female to share apartment in West 70s. Non-smoker, professional preferred. An innocent want ad opens the door to murderous, unrelenting terror in this pulse-pounding psychological shocker, starring Bridget Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh. So eventually, this is a good suspenseful thriller. So if you love Bridget Fonda, this is a good movie to watch. So it's got interactive end menu, so it has this theatrical trailer, scene selections, and this movie, and there's also sequels to Single White Female too, but nothing can top the original. Next up is one of a movie starring Julia Roberts, and she did it after Pretty Woman and Flatliners. It's a classic thriller, and the film is called Sleeping with the Enemy. I've seen it when it came out to theaters, and I thought it was well done acting, and it was based on the novel by Nancy Price, and I've read the book, and the movie was a lot different from the book. It's in this suspenseful romantic thriller. She plays a young woman who thinks she's found the man of her dreams, but after they are married, she discovers the real truth. Compulsive, controlling, and dangerously violent. Faking her own death, she starts life over in a small Midwestern town. But even with a new identity, she lives in fear, struck by the memory of his brutality, a memory that terrifying comes to life when he discovers she is still alive. This is a good movie. So this is one that came out in 1991, and this is one movie that you should check out. Next up is a movie the screenplay was written by Joe Esтерhas, who did Showgirls and Basic Instinct and that. This is the unrated version. The punchline is you like to watch, don't you? It stars Sharon Stone, and the film is Sliver. And it says, don't miss it. Goes beyond Basic Instinct. Super sexy, super stylish, super suspenseful. It's in the too hot for theaters unrated cut of Sliver. She steams up the screen and someone is secretly watching her. When she moves into one of the New York's most exclusive apartment buildings, its residents start turning up brutally murdered, and someone is videotaping her during her most private moments. Is it the building's owner with a dangerous taste for voyeurism, or the mysterious writer with a dark imagination? As she is drawn closer to the killer, you'll like to watch. So eventually it also has William Baldwin and Tom Berenger in it. This is a really good movie, so you should check it out. Another movie that has my favorite actor Russell Crowe in it, and it's a gripping thriller. It also has Ben Affleck, Rachel McAdams, and Helen Mirren, who is a great actress. And the film is called State of Play. It's based on the British show, on the British series, and it's a smart, ingenuous thriller. And this is the blistering thriller about deception, manipulation, and corruption. When a DC reporter is assigned to investigate the murder of an assistant to an up-and-coming politician, he uncovers a conspiracy that threatens to bring down the nation's power structures. In a town of spin doctors and wealthy power brokers, he will discover one truth. When fortunes are at stake, no one's integrity, love, or life is safe. It's from director Kevin MacDonald, who did The Last King of Scotland. State of Play brings together gripping performances, riveting suspense, and is sophisticated, intelligent, and powerful. So eventually it's got a lot. It's also got Jason Bateman in it. It's got Viola Davis in it. So eventually this is a movie that you should check out. State of Play. another film that I got. It's a cult classic, and it's directed by John Carpenter, who did Halloween and all that. And this film came out in 1988 or 89. It came out in 1988, and it stars the great professional wrestler Rowdy Roddy Piper. God rest his soul. I love him. He was a good actor and a great wrestler. And the film is called They Live. I used to rent this movie many, many times when I was younger, and my brother would get on my nerves about it. So it's about they influence our decisions without us knowing it. They numb our senses without us feeling it. They control our lives without us realizing it. They live. Horror master John Carpenter directs this heart-pounding thriller. Aliens are systematically gaining control of the earth by masquerading as humans and lulling the public into submission. Humanity's last chance lies with a lone drifter who stumbles upon a harrowing discovery, a unique pair of sunglasses that reveal the terrifying and deadly truth. So this is a cult classic, and this is a movie that you must watch. It's got a lot of great quotes and a lot of great scenes, so you should check this out. Next up is a movie that was based on the novel by John Grisham, and it stars and the part is a lawyer and his assistant fighting to save a father on trial for murder, a time to question what they believe, a time to doubt what they trust, and no time for mistakes. It's from the best-selling author of The Firm and the Client. It stars Sandra Bullock, Samuel L. Jackson, Matthew McConaughey, and Kevin Spacey. And the film is called A Time to Kill. And it's a gripping story, an outstanding cast, highly charged drama. If John Grisham's bestseller, A Time to Kill, hits the screen with incendiary force. It's directed by Joel Schumacher, God rest his soul. It stars Sandra Bullock, Samuel L. Jackson, Matthew McConaughey, and Kevin Spacey play the principals in a murder trial that brings a small Mississippi town's racial tensions to the flashpoint. Amid activist marches, clan terror, media clamor, and brutal riots, an unseasoned but idealistic attorney mounts a stirring courtroom battle for justice. The superb ensemble also includes Brenda Fricker, Oliver Platt, Charles S. Dutton, Ashley Judd, Patrick Magoo, and Chris Cooper, and both Donald and Kiefer Sutherland. These and other talents make for one of this year's most powerful films. So this came out in 1996, and it's a really good movie. It's like in the film To Kill a Mockingbird. So, but this movie it's awesome. You got to really see this film. It is so riveting. It is powerful. It's gripping, and this is a must see. Next one is a prequel from a TV show that came out in 1990 that I am a huge fan of. And I'll give you the hint. In a town like Twin Peaks, no one is innocent. And I'm talking about Twin Peaks, Fire, Walk With Me, the prequel after the TV show got canceled. And it became a cult hit. It says, in this compelling film prequel to the phenomenal TV series, director David Lynch takes us to the town of damn good coffee and cherry pie. Two federal agents arrive in Twin Peaks and unravel the bizarre clues of mysterious disappearance and strange happenings that led to the death of local girl Laura Palmer. Co-starring Kiefer Sutherland and David Bowie, Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me plunges deep beneath the facade of a town where nothing is as it seems. It's like it's got most of the cast back here, like now they have a new version, like the missing parts, and I think I'm probably gonna try to find it. So because they filmed a lot in these scenes, but eventually they just had to cut down on time, and so but if you love Twin Peaks, then it also has a documentary on the phenomenon of Twin Peaks. So if you love Twin Peaks the series, then you got to get Fire Walk With Me. And I also got the revival of Twin Peaks that came out in 2017. Yeah, so I'll show it to you when when I show you my TV DVD collection. Next up is a classic cut. Like it was loved by cult fans everywhere. It's the Ultimate Director's Cut. I never seen this film, but I've seen some clips of it, and they look pretty awesome. And the film I'm talking about, it came out in 1979, and it's called The Warriors, and it's Can You Dig It? And it's got some special features, featurettes, and that. It's director Walter Hill claims his turf with The Warriors Ultimate Director's Cut. It's the stunning must-see version of the classic film, loaded with special features that pack extra punch. The Warriors are ready to fight their way back to Coney Island, but standing in their path are some of the baddest out-for-blood gangs in New York City. It'll take every bit of street smarts and every weapon they can find to make it back alive. And the film this film stars Michael Beck, who I love very much. He was a good actor, but he was underrated, and he was in Xanadu. He did Chiller. He did Houston Nights, and he did a Celebrity, which he did an awesome job. And it also has like James Remar and some unknown actors, and like James Remar, who became a great actor, like, and he starred as Dexter's father in the series Dexter. So I'm gonna try and see The Warriors one of these days, but if I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Next up is a film that was directed by Robert Zemeckis, and it starred Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's a first-class thriller, and it says, he was the perfect husband until his one mistake followed them home, and the film is called What Lies Beneath. And does for bathtubs what Psycho did for showers. And it says, in this exciting supernatural thriller, Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer play a seemingly happily married couple who uncover a terrible secret, a secret so disturbing it threatens to destroy them. When she begins seeing ghostly images and hearing mysterious voices in their home, her husband suspects it's just her imagination, until the images turn real. Now together they must uncover the truth, confront their worst fears, and find what lies beneath with twisting and terrifying results. And it's also spine-tingling. You know, and I saw it, like, it's got a huge twist in the film. So next time, if you love twists and mysteries, you got to get What Lies Beneath. And finally, in the last one of my thrillers, horror section, is the film that was Superbad meets Shaun of the Dead. And I've seen it before, and it's pretty funny. It stars Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin. The film is Zombieland, and it's the funniest comedy since The Hangover. It's about a nerdy college student has survived the plague that has turned mankind into flesh-devouring zombies because he's scared of just about everything. He finds a gun-toting, Twinkie-loving man who has no fears. Together they are about to stare down their most horrifying challenge yet each other's company. And it's a double-hitting, head-smashing comedy. So if you love, it's like The Walking Dead, like Shaun of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and all that, and Return of the Living Dead. So this is a movie. It's a must-see. It is funny. And I haven't seen the sequel to it yet, but it came out 10 years later, but I'll get around to it. And it came out in 2009. So eventually I will check out this. I'll hopefully check out the sequel. Well, that's it for my collection of horror thriller DVDs. So, and next time when I come on, I will show you my musical DVD collection. So if you have any questions, or if you want to subscribe or comment on my channel, please do so. But my rule is be respectful. So this is me once again, Rushta Dixon Vixen, saying good night and God bless.